Hello, hello everyone. It has been a minute since we have done a garden to table. So let's do that today. The other day, as you remember, we harvested our wasabi radish. Well, let's do something with the wasabi radish leaves. Watch this. Well, as you can see, the first thing we're doing here is we're just nicely chopping up the leaves into small pieces. They are so crisp and fresh, it's amazing. One thing I like to do is use unusual parts of the vegetable. I know a lot of people use, of course, the radish part, but maybe don't think about using the greens. Well, we're going to saute these up into a delicious dish. So right now I'm just going to chop up a yellow onion to join this party. By the way, I am making this recipe up as we go along, so if you're doing something like this is the time to experiment. Do something different. I personally love yellow onions. I'm a big fan of the yellow onions. Maybe for you, it's the white onion or the purple onion. Whichever you prefer, this is your dish. Do it your way. We're only going to need half of this onion. It's relatively a good size onion, so if it was a smaller one, I would use the whole thing. Here we are, we got everything chopped up, looking fantastic, and now over to the stove. I'm using sage seasoned pork sausage, and I say that because I am not going to add any seasoning because the meat is already seasoned. But once again, this is your opportunity to add bacon. You could do different flavor ground sausage, you could do ground beef, you could do ground turkey. Now either one of those, you definitely want to add some seasoning. But like I said, this meat is already seasoned. Once we get this all added to the skillet, we're just going to brown this nicely. And once again, I can reiterate that you can add any meat that you prefer. You could even, I didn't mention, but you could use ground chicken. Just simply add whatever kind of seasoning you prefer. Oh, this smells so good. Too bad there's no smell-o-vision yet. I'm just breaking it up as I'm browning it. As you know, pork can get really sticky. It's a little more challenging sometimes to get it into the smaller pieces than the ground beef. Well, I put that in a bowl to the side, and we're going to add a couple tablespoons of oil. And guess who's coming up next? You guessed it. It's the onions. I prefer using peanut oil, but you can use any type of oil you prefer. I think peanut oil in certain dishes gives it a little nutty flavor. We are going to caramelize these onions until they're nice and brown and all those sugars come out and they just taste and look fantastic. You notice I did not clean the skillet. We want all those little bits in there getting into everything. We want the onions and that sage flavored pork sausage to meld together as we're stir frying, or I should say caramelizing these onions. This is my all-time favorite cast iron skillet. This has been in my family for generations. It was given to me when I left home by my mother, so I've had it since I was 17 years old. That's the beauty of cast iron. It just lasts and lasts and lasts. Well, these onions are starting to look and smell delicious. We're about ready to move them to the side so we can add another player. So I'm not going to completely remove them from the skillet. I'm just going to move them off to the side back here so they can still continue to caramelize and do their thing. Now for the fragrance. Here we go. It is garlic. Oh, I love the fragrance that garlic adds and the flavor that it adds to a dish. It's so incredible. Right now I'm just going to let this heat up, get a little brown and fragrant. Once you start smelling the deliciousness of garlic, you are ready to move on to the next step. You don't want to really brown it per se. I just like throwing it in there. We're big garlic fans. As you can see, these are big chunks of garlic. We are huge garlic fans, so I'm not one of those that's always trying to mince it up. But only do it until it gets fragrant. And then once it smells fantastic, you want to remove that and wait till later to use it. Oh yes, it smells fantastic. Let me move that to the side for right now. So good. It smells so good. Oh my gosh. I'm ready to dig in right now and it's not even done. And yes, it is time. For our wasabi radish leaves, we're going to saute those with the onions. Oh, this is coming together so nicely. Oh my goodness. Now comes my favorite part, deglazing the pan. Yes, I love adding water or chicken broth or whatever you like. In this case, I am adding water, probably about half a cup to a cup. And I'm going to deglaze this pan and get all those delicious little bits that are on the bottom, get all that mixed in and added to the flavor of this dish. Oh, this smells so fantastic right now. Now let's let that steam just a little bit to let everybody get to know everybody and everybody's saying, yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. I know I keep saying that, but I just cannot stop saying it. Now I'm adding back in the two other players, the pork and the garlic. We're just mixing this all together now, letting everybody get to know each other, and the flavors are going to be off the chart. Now, once everyone is in the pan and it's all good, we're just going to let this simmer for a minute or two, just to get all those flavors melded together. Well, here it is. It looks delicious. Well, I apologize for eating in front of you, but this looks just too good. Oh yes, we got to get a chunk of garlic on there. Oh, this looks so good. There is one thing that you could add if you are not going low carb like I am occasionally. Add some rice. Oh my goodness, that would just take this dish over the top. Yes, I'm going in for another bite. It is just too good to stop. I want to thank you all for stopping by the homestead today for this garden to table. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, be happy, be well, and be blessed.